It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Let's do a mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Y'all, I hope everybody woke up on the right side of the bed because I know I did. Listen, that was your wake-up call. I know I did, honey. I'm feeling good. And I say, you know what? We got a lot of catching up to do over here. I've been so enthralled in the Diddy saga of it all. The real life courtroom drama that's going on with Sean Combs. I was like, let me get back to reality. Let me give the girls what they want, a little bit of reality TV, a little bit of reality personas. So if y'all can just let me know, thank you, Mayor of YouTube. I know I did, and I'm natty. Aisha, thank you, Linda Gamble. Everybody let me know I'm coming through loud and clear. Queen Liz and Healed 75. That's going to be our new thing, honey. I know I did. Listen. That's going to be it over here. So, I've had some downtime. Y'all, let me tell you something. Baby, I ate. When I tell you I ate, I had to, I'm ashamed of myself. I really am. I went out of town and I ate like it was the Last Supper. I really am ashamed of myself. I had to have a little talk with Jesus and tell him all about my troubles. Hear his faithful cry, answer by and by. Listen, I've been back. Wallace, it is not afternoon where I'm at, Wallace. Good morning, though. Good morning, Wallace. It's morning over here. So I'm back on it. I'm back on the ground, on the grind of it all. The fish was good. How was that fish? I ate everything. I know I did. Listen, the fish was good. The baddest blogger. Hey, the baddest blogger. We got NC North Carolina beat in the house, y'all. We got Gerald in the house. That was my bosom buddy, y'all. That was my bosom buddy. I know I did, honey, at the Diddy trial. Let me tell you something. We got to give Gerald a round of applause. Because, baby, when they was feeling froggy, Gerald was ready to jump. He was ready to jump, honey. I know I did. That's going to be, y'all, we got to get that. We got to get that. I'm going to get that in a soundbite. I sure am. Watch me. But listen, we're over here to have a good time. They say, hi, Gerald. How are you? Listen, I am so impressed by the work ethic of the bloggers. You know what? I am so impressed by the work ethic and the dedication of the bloggers. I was telling my best friend that this morning. I was like, listen, most people there treated that thing like a 9 to 5. When I tell you we pulled 13 or 14-hour days, and honey, at the end, when I decided, I know I did, that I was going to sleep in, Gerald was like, get your butt up here. You know what I'm saying? Dedication. That's where the cream, how do y'all say? The cream rises to the top. You can't be no lazy blogger out there doing that. You can't be a lazy content creator because you got to hit the ground running. All you got is pen, paper. They confiscate all electronics. There's no advantages. There's no disadvantages. It's just you versus you. Honey, I know I did. And we had a good time. We had a good old hot time out there. North Carolina beat was in the house. Y'all already know all of the craziness that went on. But for the most part, everybody did an absolute amazing job. We really did. So I'm back home. We got to hit the ground running. I got a lot of ground to cover. Yep, we did have a good time, did we not? And I was just telling them I ate too damn much. I'm ashamed of myself. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. I'm making it up by putting in content. And y'all, today we talking Nene Leakes. Oh, yes. Yeah, we are talking Nene Leakes. Okay, Nene. See, some of y'all like to come over here and get on me because when I would keep it real with y'all regarding Nene Leakes, some of y'all swore up and down. You don't like Nene. You got it out for Nene. No, I know I did. It ain't, listen. Nene's been showing up lately. She really has been. And so I want to talk about it. I really do. I'm like, is this a comeback? Is this a new beginning for Nene? Or will this just be drama again? What are your thoughts, y'all? You like the old Nene? Felicia says, I like the old Nene. Well, what's the new Nene? What's the new Nene versus the old Nene? I learned a lot about Nene. First of all, I learned that I was wrong about Traitors. No, I'm serious. I learned I was wrong about Traitors. Remember when I did that video? Hold on. Child, my stepson in the background playing his music all loud. Y'all remember I did that video about Traitors, and we were talking about Nene and how she pulled out of Traitors, and I was saying, you know what, Nene, you should have accepted what they gave you. Just loud and wrong, honey. Listen, oh, Jacqueline says she think Nene's coming back for drama. Well, listen, let me own up to my mistake. I was loud and wrong. Because according to Nene's latest interview that she did with the humble brag, that's Cynthia and Crystal from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Nene says she pulled out of Traitors because her son has been sick. Her son has had a heart condition for quite some time, and he was actually in a hospital. She said it had nothing to do with pay or anything going on with the contract. She actually pulled out to take care and be by her son's side. So I was like, let me come back. Let me spin the block on that. One Way 4275 says, thanks, Queen, for acknowledging that fact. Oh, yeah, yeah. It just took me a little time to catch up with what's going on in these YouTube streets. So I listened to that and I thought it was great. I feel like it was a very good interview for Cynthia and Crystal because they got a lot of views off of that. They got a lot of views off of that. And then recently, I want to talk about something. Nene interviewed Cheyenne Bryant. Cheyenne Bryant is, I'm going to say, a therapist. I believe she's a therapist. And typically you will see her, I think most of us know her from sitting in front of Cam Newton, Nick Cannon, and men of the sort, men that are in the industry challenging them about their ideology on relationships. Okay. I got a lot to say about that. Nene actually sat down with her. And I'm going to have to say this, Nene, that was a good choice. That was a good choice because prior to you sitting down with Dr. Bryant, I don't recall her doing a one-on-one. I'm not going to say ever, but within the last 6 months, I don't remember or recall like a publicized interview of her doing a one-on-one with a woman. I've listened to her. And after I watched her a little bit, I'm talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? We saw her on Basketball Wives. I thought to myself, I think she's male identified. I think she's male identified because I've seen her in front of the likes of men, the likes of Cam Newtons and the likes of Nick Cannons and men like that. But I've yet to see you get down with another woman. So that's why I say I think that was a good choice for Nene to sit down with her. And we're going to run through that. We're going to look at that. And I just want to do this. I really want us to take a look at it and decipher the interview from your perspective. They break down love, y'all. They talk about money. They talk about men. They talk about mental health, therapy, breaking up. Would you date a man that made less money than you? We're going to get into the thick of it. But I want to say this one thing. I still stand on business when it comes to Nene. When it comes to Nene, because hearing Nene do her interview with Cynthia and Crystal on the Humble Brag, Nene said that the Nene Leakes show actually happened. I'm not going to say by accident, but it just happened. She was supposed to do a show with her homegirl, with a friend, and her friend didn't show up. Listen. Bruh. Her friend didn't show up. Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. So you can't depend on other people. You got to push forward no matter what. Her friend didn't show up. She said she was already there. And production was like, let's just roll the clips. Let's just do it. Let's just get it done. And that's how the Nene Leakes show came to be. I still think, Nene, that you are one woman show. I'm going to say this. I think you should have your own morning show. The Nene Leakes morning show. What y'all think? I think Nene should have a Nene Leakes morning show, Monday through Friday, a set time, similar to the Breakfast Club, but not with that many personalities, just Nene. Nene, I think if you're going to work with a person, let's just say you happen to roll up, you hear this live. If you're going to do it, don't do it with a Black woman. You've tried that. Your homegirl didn't show up. You tried that with Sierra. Oh, that was Sierra. Homegirl didn't show. Oh, y'all messy. Sharikia said Sierra, her homegirl didn't show up. So black women, I'm sorry. Sierra messed it up for all y'all. So Nene, I don't want you to go black. Listen to me very carefully. I don't want you to go white woman. You tried that with Bethany Frankel. I want you to go with a man, and I don't want it to be a gay man. Now, that's no tea, no shade. That's no shade, y'all. That's no shade. We've seen you in action with gay men. We've seen you with Dwight. We've seen you with your good Judys. I don't want that for you. I think if you're going to partner up with somebody, it needs to be somebody that you are not battling with. It needs to be somebody that's not going to be intimidated by you. And I'm not saying a gay man or a black woman would or a white woman would. I just think she's been there, done that, right? I think you would be really good with a white man that has his own money, not dating, right? But I think if you're going to have a co-host, it needs to be a white man for the Nene Leakes morning show. What y'all think? What y'all think? And Alex25 says, I'm sorry, Nene is not a good interviewer. I think she's getting better, but I don't think she's good. Kenya Moore hit the mark with her interviews. Kenya and Ms. Lawrence did a great job on the recent episode of the Kenya Moore show or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? Kenya Moore Confessionals. So Nene, the Nene Leakes morning show. And if you're going to have a co-host, it needs to be a white man. I don't know where you're going to find them. I'm just giving you the idea. And I believe you can wing it by yourself, or you can wing it until he comes along, if he comes along. Simple Yet Stylish said, wasn't she doing me and my homegirl with Sierra? Yeah, but here's the thing, y'all. Now, you know women don't work. Many women don't tend to work well together, especially many black women. I don't care. I know y'all, that Queen Sheba, don't be, listen, prove me wrong. You watch the shows. You see it. You see people fall out, envy, jealous, narratives, hate. Am I lying? Am I lying? So that kind of stuff, you just got to be careful with it. You really have to be careful with it. That's all I'm saying. The mayor of YouTube says, good idea. Good idea. Come on, celebrity manager. I'm just saying. Call me the celebrity product manager. So we're going to get into the thick of it. I think she's a great conversationalist. But I think what Nene fails to realize is people come to hear you. No, I don't think she fails to realize. I think she knows that, which is why subconsciously she can't help but to place herself as the center of the interviews. Now, I'm not saying it's just, I think you're better off by yourself. Kind of like Joyce Myers. Y'all get what I'm saying? If you understand who Joyce Myers is. Okay, Sincerely Blessed says she likes that idea. I agree with that. We would support her. She can use your white man. My white man too old. My white man too old. Now, and listen, Nene, maybe a male comedian, male New York City reviews, male NYC reviews says maybe a male comedian, but not a black one. I'm sorry. I'm keeping it real. That's what we do over here. Not a black one. It's always some shit with black people. And I just don't want to see her go through that. I think she's gotten off to a great start. Before you know it, it'll be fighting over money. I didn't get no clout. She did this, he did that. Maybe a white male comedian or somebody that's parallel to the reality industry. Think of the lines of Jeff. What's Jeff's last name, y'all? The white guy Jeff that stopped by here a couple of months ago. Okay, thank you. Dolores says no lies. No lies, Queen Sheba. What's that white man name that came over here? Jeff Lewis. One Way 4275 says, does Nene have the capacity and the ability to remain consistent when it's not financially feasible? I think so. That's why I'm saying if she chooses to partner with the co-host, get a white man, somebody that can keep you inspired, somebody that's at the top of the food chain when it comes to profitability, somebody that's used to making money, somebody that's going to say, "Get your ass up, Nene," and not take it personal. Somebody that's funny enough and maybe a comedian that's going to show up to your house and say, "All right, you're coming out the house," pull her out the house in her robe and her slippers and just make a positive experience of it all. Yeah. The luxury bucket list says, "Tell the truth and shame the devil, queen." I'm sorry, but it's hard working with other Black women. They can get jealous. They can. They can. Um, for a number of reasons, right? And one thing that I'm learning is, y'all, do you know people rarely ever want what you have that's tangible? Oftentimes, people lust after things that are intangible when it comes to you, how you're loved, the way you deliver, maybe the fact that you have a family. I don't know, things that you like. Why? It has nothing to do with what you have. It has nothing to do with your money or your home. Sometimes it's those intangible items that people lust after, that people covet. So you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. Sincerely Blessed says, "No, we don't want to see her with Sierra. Do it alone." Well, we've already seen that. We've already seen that. That was a stretch. That was a mismatch, in my opinion. That was an unlikely pair. They tried it. It didn't work. And that's okay. But Nene, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you make up the ground. Make up some time that you've lost. I'm telling you, don't fool around no more. Don't fool around. Nah, I don't like Gary Owens. He has a side to him that's not very kind when it comes to Black women. Y'all don't remember Aisha when Kenya Moore read his ass for filth? So you can have white people. I don't want no wiggers. I don't want no wiggers. I don't want no wiggers. I want a true white bread, rainbow, white rice, white man. I don't want nobody that likes sleeping with Black men or sleeping with Black women. No wiggers are allowed. I'm talking shit already this early in the morning. Have y'all had y'all's coffee yet? Because I'm listening. This supposed to be somebody take my mic. Somebody take my damn mic. I don't want no wiggers. I'm sorry, y'all. No, listen. Yes, Lane. Thank you, Lane. Lane says Gary Owens is whack. He thinks he's Black. Yeah, we don't need none of that. We need somebody that's comfortable in their shoes. And that's what I'm saying. It has to be somebody that's comfortable in their own right, that's not going to feel no type of way or try to overshadow her because he's comfortable. He has his own shit going on and he's going to let her be comfortable. And as a matter of fact, he likes her just the way she is. I don't like Gary Owens because he tried to get slick one time. He has a side to him that's not very nice. Chasing Dreams says, "I agree. Gary Owens is nasty and can be rude and racist." Exactly. Exactly. And plus, we not letting no wiggers eat off of her. Okay. Okay. That's all I'm saying. All right. Give me Andy Cohen. Queen wants a mashed potato and white bread sandwich eater. That's it. And somebody that likes a lot of mayonnaise on their bread. All right. So Todd Christie would be awesome. Pisces, Todd Christie would be awesome, but he's going to want to come in the door with high expectations from what you got. Okay. Y'all remember we looked up their salary? We looked up the Christie salary versus those Black people that were on the same network. Them Black folks that had all those kids, they have 14 kids, and then the husband left her. And we looked at the pennies that the network were paying the Black couple compared to what Todd Christie and his family were making. So Todd is going to come in with the level of expectation walking through the door, but he would be an excellent fit if he and Nene could contractually work out a number. And both of them would have to be willing to sacrifice, where they used to be and realize that we're both building together. Does that make does that make any sense, y'all? The luxury bucket says, "I agree. No microaggressions in the place. He can like Black women, but he should not be a pander to Black women." Oh, that would be cute. Mariana, a RuPaul drag show participant. Who? Who though? See, Todd Christie right now. Okay, everybody's liking Todd Christie. Todd Christie. Taylor Swift, boy, hell no. Diane, we just said no wiggers. Now, Diane, isn't he a wigger? Jerry O'Connell, no, not yet. That's too high up because Nene is she's rebranding. It's a new beginning. So the money ain't there that Jerry O'Connell, y'all, we got to be realistic. We got to think about where is she? What can they afford to do? What is the pay looking like? They're going to have to penetrate the marketplace. They're going to have to see if, the networks are even open to this. So it has to be somebody that has enough money that they're not pressed. Lane Conan O'Brien, that's too high up. Todd Christie so far. So far, the only realistic thing that y'all have said is Todd Christie. Okay. One doubler said Todd is gay. You said no gays. I said no gay black men. Didn't I say that? Did I say no gays? Or what did I say? I thought Todd was married. Y'all ain't finna lie on Todd. Don Lemon, no, he has his own thing, y'all. No. Didn't I just say no gay black men? See, y'all hard-headed. Y'all are hard.
Wow.
I know. I told them no gay black men. So listen, that's what we got as it relates to. Hold on. Mel NC Review says Todd Christie said he was a mother figure to all the young prisoners. But when he came out, he I thought he was married. Listen, so let's get into Cynthia. Let's get into the humble brag, Nene, and her interview with Cynthia and Crystal on the humble brag. I found it very, very interesting. And I think I'm going to cover the part of Traitors first. So let me cue it up. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. All right, if y'all are ready, let me remove the overlay. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there. Here we go. I'm going to remove the overlay, and we're going to get into the thick of it. And just in case you're wondering why we are looking at this, I think this is possibly a new beginning for Nene. And as a YouTube community, I thought it would be very interesting if we came together as a community in a forum to critique and or respond to together from educational purposes to what Nene has going on lately. Okay. All right, here we go. Y'all can hear my dogs in the background. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. Let me know when you can see the screen and I'll go ahead and get I'll get it clipped up. Throughout the video, Todd is married. Thank you, Mayor of YouTube. They need to leave him alone. Talking about he was the mother of prisoners. They hating on Todd. So listen, here we go. I want to start off with the part about Traitors and the reason why Nene said she turned down an opportunity to work on Traitors. And as a result, they substituted her with Portia, but she's going to give a little bit more tea too. Okay. Hold on. Let's go to 1750. Here we go. Give me 1 second. I like this new YouTube format where we could actually 16, 17. They're getting through commercials. All right, here we go. Bear with us.
Falling asleep or staying asleep and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including boxed warning at addy.com/PI.
Let me know if there's an echo.
I want to go back really quickly again. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is, I know that, is that before Housewives, you had already started acting. Like that was your initial entry into the entertainment world. You wanted to be an actress, correct?
Yeah. So I would come to Los Angeles every single year for pilot season because they have pilot season here.
You know, her husband, really quick, is your breakout roles. You were on Glee.
I was on Glee
and The New Normal.
I'm just skipping through to get straight through Traitors, to the Traitors aspect of it all. Give me 1 second. I don't want to waste any extra time. I think it's here.
You
did humanity?
Yes, I
we
was the mistress of ceremony.
Oh,
yeah.
I think we shot that for house.
Many.
Okay, so you were asked to come back you were asked to do Traitors.
Yes, I was asked to do Traitors.
And then we heard that you were not doing it.
Yeah.
Why did you choose not to do it?
So I was asked to do Traitors. I was really excited about doing it. By
And we were excited about you doing it, Nene.
the way.
Yeah, we talked about it, but it wasn't public
yeah.
at that time.
Is it public now?
Yes, ma'am.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Oh,
is
because they
because
set the cast.
Yeah, because I think since you didn't do it, I think they took Portia.
It was Portia and Tamar.
Oh, it was always those two.
No, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't.
Wait a minute. Did y'all know Tamar was up? Is Tamar going to be in the next season of Traitors? I remember Portia, but I thought it was going to be somebody else. Is it Tamar? That Tamar finna mess up Traitors. Child. Tamar finna mess up Traitors. I don't want all that on Traitors. I don't want all that on Traitors. I didn't know Tamar was up. I don't know about Tamar. No, okay, that's what I was about to say. Okay. All right. So we know Portia. I didn't know about Tamar.
I don't know because they did not reveal to me who the cast was going to be.
Yeah, and Portia didn't tell me either. So I was like, maybe she replaced
so
you.
I kind of felt like they did get Portia.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But why didn't you do it?
I couldn't do Traitors because my son's in the hospital.
Okay, so we didn't know that. And I was loud and wrong. I was one of the main bloggers saying it's because of the contract and that they didn't come in with the right amount of money. Let's continue.
He's still in the hospital. And so my son's been in the hospital since May.
Okay.
Like early May.
When I shot the Nene Leakes show with you, I felt like Brent went in then.
No.
Or maybe he was already there.
He was already there.
Okay. Wow. He's
been there almost 2 months.
That's a long time, y'all. That's a long time for a kid. And I know he's a young man. For a kid to be in a hospital that long of a stay, if you think about the medical bills that she's racking up, that's a lot of pressure to get out here as a single mom, right? Try to make it do what it do for your kids and keep the money flowing in and out of the home. You need to call your dad and ask him.
How's he doing?
He's doing a lot better. He's turned a curve. He has a little while longer to be there, but he's turned a curve.
Okay. And Crystal.
Yeah, I want to be sensitive because I don't.
Can you tell her what Britt is dealing with? If you want,
okay. So this part. Go. So, y'all, I'm over here talking to people in the background. Listen, he needs a heart transplant. Lord have mercy, y'all. Let's prayer warriors. You already know what to do. Lord have mercy. That's a lot. She would have been amazing. I agree, Pina. Santino. I agree. Pina says, oh, wow, she would have been amazing. It's honorable that she didn't go on Traitors. I think so, too. And that's why I think it's important for people like Nene to come out and share their story. Because if we don't know, unfortunately, rumors spread like wildfire. But this is this is probably one of the best interviews that Nene has done. And I'm guessing she felt comfortable doing it because Cynthia is there. Now, do you see how Cynthia and Crystal are co-hosts and they're completely opposite? Now, I did an interview with Cynthia and she kind of explained how that came to be, that what's for you is for you. It will find you. You don't have to go looking for it. And Crystal called her out of nowhere and was like, I want you to do it with me. They'd never talked before. They knew of each other by way of the franchises. And that's what I see for Nene. But let's keep it going.
So Brent, when my husband died, we only had one son, which is my son, Brent. And at 22, he had a stroke and a heart attack. And from the stroke, his heart was weak and it never got back strong. So he needed a heart transplant. So he's had a heart transplant since then. And what's happening now is his heart started rejecting.
Oh no, Lord have mercy. Okay. So he hasn't had the heart. It doesn't seem like he's had the heart long before his body actually starts to reject it. Now, for those if we have any medical, well, you would have to be a heart surgeon or a cardiovascular SME to explain what's the probability of the body receiving and or accepting the next heart. You know, man, that's a lot.
And so they are now trying to stop the rejection.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's a lot on.
Yeah, he's really young.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot on us. Really
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Do they know why he had the stroke to begin with?
They can just kind of assume. One of the things I was told was Brent was starting to become a diabetic. And from what I'm learning, that diabetes trigger a lot of things.
Oh, wow. That's why it's so important for us to be healthy as a people. And for those of you that are tuned in, to at least give yourself a fighting chance, right? Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't know that. Simple Yet Stylish says it's a lot to deal with. He's really been through a lot. Oh my God, at such a young age. At such a young age. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So do you know the probability of the body accepting a second heart? Or is this something based on his condition? And you know what? Never mind. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay, let's continue. Here we go.
My mom is diabetic and she recently had a mini stroke. She's doing okay now. That was maybe about 3 months ago. And she's definitely full on diabetic for sure.
Yeah.
So I think there may be some truth to that. For
so let me tell you, with Traitors, from the meeting I had, you need to leave by the June 10th, June 11th, something like that. I'm so glad I said no. Because, you know, in my mind, I kept thinking maybe by June 10th, Brent will be much better, you know, just thinking that in my head. But my fear was committing and then having to go back to them and say, I can't do it.
Right.
So that was never going to work.
Yeah.
Brent was very sick, like very sick. It was no way I could commit.
Wow. Kudos to you, Nene. Kudos to you.
Yeah. And you have to leave to go out of the country.
Yeah.
Right?
So they filmed Traitors in Scotland.
In Scotland.
Okay.
Right. And so I was like, damn, like this is going to be like my chance to do all these great things and come back like really strong, right?
Absolutely.
And they were talking to me on the phone, like telling me, you know, we want you to do this and this, and this is going to happen. And it was no way I could do it. Yeah.
But you know what, y'all? Sometimes it's just not the time. Sometimes it's just not the time. And I'm going to have to say, I think Portia was an excellent supplement to fill in for Nene. What are your thoughts? I think Portia was an excellent substitute to come in for Nene because we've become conditioned and used to seeing them on the same franchise. And you know Portia gonna bring it. You know she gonna bring it on Traitors. So Nene would have been great, but either way, it's gonna be good. Y'all get what I'm saying? Chanel says, I like the real life talking Nene much more than the glam one. I mean, people love Nene. People love to hear Nene talk. She's gonna get into that. Okay, here's something. Sincerely Blessed says it's hard to get a match with the heart. It rejects easily, man. But the good thing is Brent's age. He's a young man. Okay, that's awesome. That's good to hear, man. Okay, let's see. If she said
immediately, I hung up the phone and knew when I hung up the phone I couldn't do it.
Well, I can say this, and I was excited for you to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're just good ass TV. Yeah. And I would love to see you in that space. Because I've never really seen you do a
competition
show like that.
And I wanted to check too, let's be understood.
Oh, no, we always want to check.
I saw on the blogs where a blogger had said, Nene did not take Traitors because the check wasn't big enough.
Was that me? Hold on, Nene, was that another blogger? I know I said it, but maybe it was somebody bigger than me that said it too. Because I know we was over here going back and forth. I mean, we got into it over here behind that. We got into it big time. One lady went, you ain't Nene. Thank God you're not. Y'all don't remember we got into it over here behind that? I know Michelle ATL was over here and her and Nene are best friends. Hold on, let me continue, child.
I was like, no.
That's not true.
No, I got the check.
You got the check.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Well, you know what? As mothers, I get it. There's no way. Like
100%.
I would have.
All right. So look, she cleared that up. she said she got the check. So let's go on. I want to talk about this interview. I want to talk about the Nene Leakes show. Let me go to 1 hour and 4 minutes. I'm gonna be skipping around and how she kind of touched on how that came to be. So now y'all are saying that it was Sierra that didn't show up. Damn, Sierra. But I'm glad y'all, there is no such thing as a loss. When things don't work, praise God. When things happen to you and you're not the one that orchestrated it, it's okay. Here we go.
exist. But again, like all these new iterations of just that original content of your likeness are being reused and other people are making money.
Yeah, over and over again. And other people are making money. I'll be looking for my check.
AI guy.
Also checking the mailbox as well.
TikTok guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Oh, girl, I don't know. I hope I'm somewhere sick.
Now, Crystal, girl, come back down to reality. Did you just ask this woman, where does she see herself in 20 years? And Nene's what, in her 50s? In 70? Come on, Crystal. Come on, Crystal. I need you to be more cognizant and more aware. Did you just ask that lady, where do you see yourself in 20 years? Girl, I think she was just talking. Now, Crystal, come on now.
Sitting and being at peace, honey, in 20 years. Oh, gosh.
Will you still be in Atlanta?
I will. Like, Atlanta's where my children are, so I will always have a home in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now, I can have a vacation home somewhere else, but I feel like Atlanta, my kids are there.
Yeah,
so I will. Yeah.
Where do you love to travel to?
Anywhere.
Dubai. You like Dubai?
I do like Dubai. I like Dubai. I actually like London.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fans in London.
We do.
Sure you get recognized like crazy.
Yeah, it's like being over here to me.
I like Europe as well. I like Scotland. I like Ireland. London is cool. It rains a lot. But all right, Nene.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Nene. It's like, okay, hey.
How do you like having your own talk show, the Nene Leakes show? And where do you see that going, or where do you want it to go?
Where do I see the Nene Leakes show going? I kind of was thrown into the Nene Leakes show, by accident. It wasn't something that I planned, right? I was doing me and my homegirl. And
y'all was right. It was Sierra.
Our schedules weren't lining up, and I just walked in one day and the camera crew was there and they were like, we're going to do the Nene Leakes show and just sit here and just start talking. And
so that means you walked in, you was under the impression that your homegirl was going to be there and she wasn't there. And y'all, can I say this? The show must go on. We ain't waiting on nobody. Ain't nobody stopping nothing. If that's what you called to do, thank you. Chasing Dreams says, look at God. Press play. Keep going. No such thing as a loss on a spiritual level. There's only an opportunity or a lesson. And it sounds like this was an opportunity.
I just kind of fell into the Nene Leakes show. It's done very well. I hope for it to go as far as it can possibly go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
whatever that is.
I love.
Okay, what that is, Nene, is a Nene Leakes morning show. The production of it all can be and is very expensive. I know that myself. Eventually, you can taper that down and start to wean off from the one-on-one interviews and start to kind of segue yourself or your brand into the morning show.
Love watching the two of you guys on it. I fully watched it I actually beamed it on my big screen. You guys obviously have incredible chemistry, but I think it's really nice to see that you guys are actual friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is unique about Housewives, because some feel like not real, or more.
All right. So that was the part on Traitors. Hopefully y'all didn't hear me yelling. So Nene's been doing a good job. It seems like she's coming into her own, Irene. It seems like she's now let's get into this man that she's dating. Okay, the luxury bucket said London food has gotten better. It was trash in the 90s. What were you eating over there? I think the Indian food is pretty good over there. Okay. She got a man one way. We're going to talk about that real quick. Okay, you know what? Never mind. She talks about that in a different one. Let me hit on another point she made with the OGs versus the newer cast members. Let's get into that, and then we're going to switch to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Let's go.
Yeah, well, why am I asking the question? But I got to ask the question. I was like, so what do you guys think about now? Well, Cynthia, because you're on them.
Yeah.
They feel totally different than how we feel, don't you think?
Well, I think they've had a chance to study us.
Yeah.
Because this is like what, season 16?
So they come on already
16 years to study us. We were coming on, and I was just saying this on somebody else's show. We literally, at that point, we would be all up in TJ Maxx, still trying to pull it together. You know what I'm saying? And these girls are coming on now with full glam squads.
Neiman Marcus down.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, they're ready.
Very, very different. And I think one of the things that people appreciated about us, it was new, and we were still figuring it out. Like we were just, we knew
it was organic. It was real, which made it the real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't like the new ones. I don't like the hybrid the clones. It was real. You were a TJ Maxx shop and you were working your ass off. It's like an artist, right? That goes into the studio and give their all for that first album. They putting it all on the line. These girls, they don't appreciate the opportunity because they walk through the door already thinking that they deserve to be there. Ain't did shit, ain't proved nothing, just walking in off GP because they got a face full of MAC makeup and weave all the way down to your ass, and just based off of a sew-in or a bondo or a lace front, I deserve to be here.
You were fabulous, but we were still coming into our own, and
That's
you guys got
real.
to see the process. You got to see our children.
Yeah.
You got to see, where they are now. Like, Noelle is 25. She was 8 years old when she came on the show.
Yeah, same.
All of those things.
My baby was in the 3rd grade.
Remember your little first dog Player when you got Player? You were teaching him
still have
potty training. Player still around?
Yes.
How old is Player now?
7.
Yeah, and the innocent instigator said, and they're trying to get rid of the OGs for what?
It's a bittersweet, but the platform it takes you so many places. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the platform is what it was then. It's not the same now.
What do you think?
It's not. I have to agree. Washed down, fake, great value. It's just, it gives me the ick. I learned that from Love Island. It gives me the ick. You can see it. I don't know about y'all. I can't do it. I haven't developed a palate for all the fakeness.
Think it's like now? What is
I don't feel like these girls are stars or, or like household names.
They're not.
We know them, but we don't.
Oh, just looking out of the window, watching the asphalt grow. Did she lie? Now, I used to be mad at Nene when she would say that. But now that I sit back, they're not, including Shamia. Not. It's just something that's missing. And I can't help but to wonder if Bravo is just kind of heading in the direction where they're like, let's just let it run its course and scrap it all together, which is why I don't feel like they're going to bring Nene back full time. Because number one, she sued them. And number two, we don't even know what direction they're headed in. In Alex, I don't think she's hating. I used to, but after watching this season, I don't think she's hating. Mary said the truth is missing. Well, you got to put people in there that's comfortable telling the truth. So we got the wrong people plugged in the right place. Does that make sense? So we have the wrong people plugged in the right place. So I just want to know, like, I guess a part of me is like, maybe Bravo is done. Maybe Bravo, and I said this before, maybe Bravo has gotten all of what they need or what they need out of that franchise. And now they have enough white shows to supplement any deficit that losing RHOA would cause, and they'll take the hit. You know what? Let's just run its course. We got scammers that's coming in trying to sue for $20 million because you're not that girl that you said you was. All kind of shenanigans going on. It's just not what it used to be. Hold on. And then I want to go really quick to Nene said something else. No, there was something else I wanted to highlight that she said. Give me 1 second. Oh, she did say that she doesn't feel like she had enough control of controlling her likeness, because they have the capability, like the network, they can kind of edit you how they want to edit you. And she don't feel like she was able to control where they went or where they wanted to take her likeness when they did. Let's see. What else did they talk about? She talked about her relationship. Let's get into that. And then we're going to switch gears. Hold on.
Prince.
Yeah, that's my
okay.
So do you see yourself getting married again? And are you, I know your man is in the other room right now. Hi, Yanni.
Okay. How long are you
in?
Okay, Nene, you're still with Yanni, right? Let me say this unapologetically. Don't marry him. And as a matter of fact, I want you to break up with him soon. I don't like him. Because he came in dirty. Now, Nene, one of your coin phrases is you never win when you play dirty. He came in dirty. He came in with a wife. Okay? He came in with a wife. If you get married again, don't let it be him. He's not trustworthy. If he did a woman like that, you can only imagine what he'll do to you. He has no honor to me. He's not an honorable man. Y'all said she settled for Yanni. Well, she actually breaks it down. Let me let you hear it.
Love, do you see yourself getting married again? Are you guys best friends? Like what is your love like? What did you feel like? How was it dating before you got into a serious relationship? Let's talk about that for 2 minutes.
So I met this man probably a couple months after my husband passed. So that was kind of quick. You know what I mean?
She met him a couple of months, not 3, because 3 months is 90 days. We're talking 45 days to 60 days after burying Greg, one of the most vulnerable states of her life. And not only did she just bury her husband, let me tell you something about predators, financial predators. Not only did she just bury her husband, and this is why I said I don't like Yanni. Niggas can't be, some niggas ain't shit. Let me just say it. You was married, sir, and you pressed forward full speed ahead. This woman had just buried her husband, and you saw, you took it upon yourself to see this as a great opportunity to court her. That's all I'm saying. Now that, in my opinion, that would not make a great leader of my household, because you don't make good decisions. You're an opportunist. Not only are you taking advantage of your current wife, but you're taking advantage of a widow who's grieving. You are a predator, in my opinion. You're not a nice man, period. You're not a nice guy. You don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself. So Nene, that's a no-go item. That's a no-go item. That's all I'm saying. And Nene, well, let's continue.
Yeah. And I don't know that I even had the time to think, am I mentally ready to date or what? I remember the first night I went out, right? I was going to be moving, and I was thinking, this is my first night out and I want to get to know the neighborhood, right?
Okay.
And I remember looking in the mirror saying to myself, okay, Nene, you're single. Now, I haven't been single in
forever.
So I don't even know what single is like.
I wonder if she meant, because you got to keep in mind, she just buried her husband, and she look in the mirror and say, okay, you single. But you know what? If I was talking to Nene, I would say, did you mean you're alone now versus single? And I would love to hear her response to that.
Talking about over 20 years.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that looks like. So we're just going out and hanging out and having fun, right? Me and my girlfriend. And then I meet this man. I just kind of went with the flow. Like, I'm just here to do whatever he want to do, right? So that's how I kind of approached it. Like, I'm just here. If he wants to go out, I want to go out, right? And that's just how I approached it. And I ended up in a relationship.
And I don't like that. I don't like that. She go out, she meet him. She didn't even have time to think through it. What do we call them, Kai? And I'm not now, Nene. I'm gonna give Nene grace because she was grieving. Hell, he knew it, and he still didn't step back, and he still didn't get a divorce first. He still didn't present himself as a gentleman. That's selfishness. That Nene, that has selfishness written all over it. He didn't even close the door first on what he had going on. He didn't even have the heart to go tell his wife, hey, I went out. And what the fuck is he doing out anyway without his wife that day on the prowl? How come he didn't say, oh, you're a beautiful woman. I know you, Nene, but damn, I'm married. Girl, have we met before then? He took it upon himself to date that woman while he was married and while that woman was grieving. That's all. Child, she meant she was alone. That's what I think. And Mills, she looked at herself and realized, I'm alone. And I think she's using, and I don't want to put in words for her, but that's what I think she meant. Yeah, he prayed on her, but he also prayed. It's just, let's move on. Let's move on. And that's all I'm saying. When you look at men and you say, okay, it ain't that much fucking love in the world. You say, wait a minute. Bro, you diabolical. Even if you proceed with it, ladies, because some of you say, well, shit, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, but okay. But you better recognize who you're dealing with and what's at the core of the being, of his being, should you choose to go that route. Because that's the kind that don't give a damn. Now, when he start treating you like that, don't be expecting no type of integrity, morale, right doing, honorable man, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, I want to go to the next video. Let me see what some of y'all are saying. I want to go to the next video that Nene did with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I found it very, very interesting. And they talked about therapy, they talked about dating. And give me 1 second. Here we go. I found it. Hold on. It was actually pretty good because a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. Now, Cheyenne, I don't know if people are just waking up. I don't know if you've done something. I don't know if people are digging, but people are there's starting to be a little bit more narrative and dialogue that's not in the favor of Cheyenne Bryant. Let's talk about it. This is where Nene and Cheyenne talk about being a kept woman. Let me ask you all this. What's your notion on being kept as a woman?
We do have to consider, okay, are we still looking to be kept women? Or are we willing to be women who a man can provide for and protect, but there are going to be some moving parts in the relationship that the woman may have to fend for herself. Now,
okay, that don't make no sense to me. Kept is kept. Let me rewind it just in case I missed it. Hold on.
Listen, it's nothing wrong with dating somebody that I made more money than my husband. But the crazy thing about my husband and our relationship is when he met me, he was the breadwinner.
Right.
When he met me.
Right.
And then I just became the breadwinner. I started making more money than him, down the road. But when I met him, he was the one that was making the money.
Yeah, he was holding it down. I think that with the modern day women who we are powerful, right? We are successful. We are educated. We are making our own money. We do have to consider, okay,
I don't believe in that. See, that's what I mean, male identified. There is no woman that I've talked to, I've gone to happy hour with, I've sat down and had a charcuterie board with that has identified herself as a modern day woman. What about you? Men? I know men have referred to us, the men in the red pill space and the manosphere, but I've yet to hear a woman say, I am a modern day woman. That's bullshit. Women don't talk like that. I'm just saying, not the ones that I know. When you're listening to women, as a modern day woman, they may say, I'm a working mom, I'm a single mother, I'm da-da-da-da-da. Exactly, Somali. What's a modern day woman? Bingo, which is why earlier on, I believe that Cheyenne is male identified, where she's picked up a lot of rhetoric, a lot of terminology from being in those spaces. And you got to be careful. And I'm not saying women can't be in those spaces, because I've been in those spaces, but I've gone toe to toe with men regarding women. So if they're going to tell you to ask them, what was she? Queen Sheba was over there, but what was she doing? Taking up for women. So that part, they won't say, oh, she was over there. Yeah. While you were against women, I was for them. So if you're going to tell it, you better tell it all. That's all I'm saying. Because, baby, they love to come back and tell you what somebody else did. But what was you doing over there? Going against women? Oh, you don't want to say that now since you switched sectors, huh? You was a whole pick Misha going, but I'm going to let you have your secret. So I believe she's danced too long in those circles, and she speaks sometimes like those men speak when they're referring to women of today. So a modern day woman, Somali, many of those manosphere guys refer to women at work. They're scholared. They earn their own money. You don't just stay at home and have kids and cook and clean. You want to be the boss, according to them. Many of those men feel like if they only make $36,000 a year and they want to have 4 babies with you, so what? Who cares if you have to sleep in a 1 bedroom with 4 kids and just him and you, and he drives a 1999 Honda? That's traditional. You support your man. You stand by your man. You don't emasculate your man. And women that choose to go out and work and otherwise do this and that are considered in those spaces modern day women. Let's continue.
Are we still looking to be kept women? Or are we willing to be women who a man can provide for and protect, but there are going to be some moving parts in the relationship that the woman may have to fend for herself? Now,
Black women are only women that have to make this choice. Why is that? Why is it that these conversations are typically centered around Black women? Where the notion is, depending on who you're talking to, many of them don't deserve to be taken care of. And I'm not talking about women that are of African descent that reside in other countries. I'm talking about Black women here in the United States, the land of the free and the home of the brave, are the only women that have to put up with this type of foolish ass conversation. I wouldn't even entertain it. What the hell you mean I got to choose? So we have to decide, do we want to be provided? We should be taken care of. If a man, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and he is blessed, why would he not want to take care of his blessing? That's all I'm saying. Why would he not want to take care of his blessing? But okay.
Me, I've had both. I've had a man who contributed, but I was a breadwinner in my first engagement. And in my second engagement, I was kept. If I have to choose one or the other, I'm definitely going with being kept.
Oh, really?
But
what does it mean to be kept? Because if I have to choose, I want to be kept. I don't even care about love if I got to choose. Not at this point in my life. Nope. I'll take kept. Door number one.
I would be the woman who would contribute because I wanted to, would spoil my man rotten. Okay. But being kept in a relationship brought out a whole different woman in me. Right? So the dominant side of the alpha in me was very doormat when I was fully kept. Okay. Because there were a lot of things that I was much more willing to submit to that I may have submitted to in my first engagement when I was a breadwinner.
I think it's called decisional balance. I think when you're kept, it's less decisions you have to make about running the household because the money is there to help. The money is there. Listen, y'all, we keep talking about why I was in a state of mind. No, it's decisional balance. Now there's decisional balance. It's similar to work-life balance, right? You work. Sometimes you work so hard, you barely come home. You barely have enough energy to cook food for your kids. And then your husband wants you to have sex. And you be like, damn, I've been working all day. I did this, I did that. I went to the gym. But when that money comes to me and enters into the picture and you don't have to overextend or overexert yourself and there's a housekeeper, you have a driver, you have a chef, you have that, decisional balance, less decisions that I have to make. And now you've entered into the realm of success. So guess what? Not as much stress. You're a little bit softer. The edge is off. You can sleep a little bit later. You're more balanced in your mind, your body, and your spirit.
But it wasn't something I always felt that he was deserving of. And that's just keeping it real. Because if I'm working and going to school and you're making money, but I'm winning bread, then I feel like this is not 100. This is more like, right, me doing 100 and you coming up short a little bit. Yeah. Although I didn't deny him, I still felt like, okay, some of these things you're not deserving of, but because I made a commitment, I'm still going to provide.
So low key, what she's saying is she resented the man she was with initially because he couldn't pull his load. And you got to say that shit, Dr. Cheyenne, which is why some people probably feel that you're fraudulent. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But I can understand the impact of that, not wanting to look like, oh, look at here. Relationship expert. Picked the wrong man that took advantage of her. You don't want to say that. So you come up with these fancy psychological words to fill in the gaps when you're simply just trying to say, I was finessed too. I got taken advantage of too. But that is too much like being right, because I believe there's a fear that would remove you as a relationship expert. Because then the niggas that you pander to would be like, well, then what the hell are you talking about? You can't help nobody. Shit, you going through or have gone through everything else that these other women have gone through.
Provide those things and show up. But I got to leave this relationship at some point because I'm a woman who, if I commit, which means commitment is doing what you said you was going to do, regardless of how you feel, then I'm going to keep my commitment while I'm with you.
So do you feel some kind of way about women who, well, you said you was a kept woman.
Yeah.
Osmond said you feel some kind of way about women who choose to be kept. See, I don't mind being kept, but I don't think.
But let's talk about the definition of kept.
Okay, because when you say, I'm thinking when you're saying kept, that you're meaning that this man is providing for you financially in every way, right?
And what is the woman doing?
Well, I guess you are being domestic in some sort of way, aren't you? Like you're home and you're taking care of things at home. Well, I did that when I was a stay-at-home mom with our child.
Right, with Greg.
And with my baby boy. But I think there's a downside to being kept. Do you? Because
I want to hear what Dr. Cheyenne says. And let me tell you why I need to hear it. Watch this. Watch this. I don't even know what she's going to say after this, to be honest with you, because I didn't watch the entire video. I watched like the first 3 minutes and I was like, I want to share this with my audience and get their thoughts and their feedback as a community forum here on YouTube and just talk about it. Because there's a lot of things that women think, but don't necessarily say out loud, right? I want to hear Dr. Cheyenne's thoughts on being kept. And I really want you all to listen to see if she feels like she deserves to be a kept woman.
I feel like you give the man a lot of control when you allow him to have you kept. Like you're giving him control over things. Now, what if you wanted to buy a purse this week and he said you can't? Then how does that work?
So I think that's why I said it depends on people's definition of kept. There are two different kept women. There's that kept woman like you described. Look, I'm at home. I have no career. I'm not doing anything. Okay. But I am a homemaker, so I'm doing a lot in the home. Right. I'm doing everything, and he's taking full care of me. So yes, what I want to do financially is completely codependent on this man. Then there was a kept woman like myself, where I came and I was already a doctor. Okay, I was in private practice. I was president of NAACP. Right, I'm running shit.
No, ma'am. Now that's fluff, and I call bullshit because kept is kept, in my opinion. There's no two different versions of being kept based on what you come to the table with. Kept is kept. If a man is in a position to take care of you and keep you in a cocoon, kept is kept. But I feel like Dr. Bryant, you've told yourself, well, there's two kind of keps. There's this kind of kept that's a homemaker, and that's this. And then there's my kind of kept where I'm coming in as a therapist first, and then I'm a doctor second. And I have the ability to work because I am a doctor. And if I want it, I can go get it. Any woman that wants it can go get it. Your credentials, your education does not make you superior to a woman that has had the beauty of having children and has the honor of staying home. Kept is kept, in my opinion. I believe in some instances from you hanging out with a lot of men that there could be. Is there a possibility that you feel shamed for not having kids? So you have to justify being single and thinking that you deserve to be kept? I don't think you have to justify it, but it's not about me. It's about what you think you deserve. Let's continue.
Shit. Okay. And this man is taking full care of me. Okay. But he's telling me every time I leave to go to work or do something, if I say I'm too tired, he says, well, you don't have to. Okay. You're doing it by choice. I'm paying all the bills. Okay. And so there was a time where I wanted, some Giuseppe boots that were $3,800. Right. And he said, babe, we just got back from Paris and Africa in the same month. Right. Daddy's not doing that. I get that. And I said, okay, no problem. But then boots still came 3-4 days later because mama had her own money. That's right.
So what's the point in playing with him and pretending to be submissive? Because you just said 5 minutes ago, you're submissive. Depending on how much he makes, it puts you in a submissive state. What's the point of asking him when you're going to go and do whatever the hell you want? Why are you pretending to ask permission and then laced it and called him daddy just to say them boots still came? That's not a submissive woman, which is why I say you're heavily... Quit playing with us, Dr. Cheyenne. You playing. You just not in front of the right women or the right people to call it out, and not to go banter with you, but just come on. But I think she's pretending in some of these spaces. Let's continue.
That's what I'm talking about.
And on trips, I was buying him, you know, while we're in Africa, I'm spending $1,000 on him with my own money because I could, but I wasn't going to work when I knew that I didn't have to.
I wish I would spend $1,000 something. I don't even spend that kind of money in my household. So are you, my question would have been, if I were Nene, were you doing this as a married woman or a single woman? Ain't nobody dropping that. You're not getting them kind of gifts. We may go on a trip. We may do, no, that's a waste of money. Okay, let me continue.
So you don't mind buying your man gifts?
No, that's one of my ways of loving.
Oh yeah, I love to.
Right, I'm not gonna. I don't believe, for me personally, I knock on nobody who wants to do it. I'm not going to fully take care of my man, meaning at the beginning of our relationship. If to your point, like Greg did with you, where, you know, he's taking care of me and he comes up short, God forbid, or a health condition or something happens, I'm going to take full care of him at that point.
Absolutely.
But I'm not meeting a guy that I'm dating and going, yeah, I'm successful. You know, I've accomplished going from, I always say, the hood to the hills, becoming this well-off woman. And so that means that I am independent and I want to take care of you. No, I'm interdependent. I'm still a lady. I want to be treated as such. And if you have the capacity to take full care of me, I am going to say thank you in every way I can.
But she asked you, she didn't answer the question. Are you taking care of a man? And let me ask y'all this. Do you all, I mean, I'll buy gifts for my husband. But I don't know about no thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know any man that would require that. I'm not talking about grown boys that requires that needs that from a woman, and that would readily and easily accept that from a woman.
And I also want to know, in what ways does thank you, you know, do you like a thank you? Because I want to do them ways too.
Okay.
But come take care of me.
Oh yeah.
With no problem.
Yeah,
and I will definitely spend, I got a lot of money that I will spend on you.
Right. Do you think that men think because you're an alpha female, because I'm an alpha female, that we're not submissive?
Nene, I love you. This is so good. But are you alpha or are you a hybrid? Because I talk about the hybrid being an alpha submissive woman. Because I'm a hybrid.
Because maybe I am. Because
see, Dr. Cheyenne, let me let it roll. You remember we went from kept? Are you kept or not? Well, what kind of kept? There's two versions of kept, according to me. This is kept, that's kept. And then Nene said, are you alpha? Well, Nene, hold on. There's two kinds of alpha. There's a hybrid. Now, Cheyenne, you making up shit as you go to fit your lifestyle, to fit the fact that you're not married. And I don't think that's a bad thing that you're not married. I don't think it's a bad thing that you are not with children. I think niggas look down on you in the spaces that you run in, and it may have made you feel less than a woman. So what you do is you come up with all of these rules and regulations to make you feel better.
Because I'm super submissive. And I think when I meet or talk to people, they be looking like, no, she's not. I'm like, how would you know?
You ain't been in a relationship with me to know how I submit.
To know exactly.
You just see me in the boardroom, or you just see me doing my TV shit where I have to be dominant in my position that I'm in. But you're not at home with me.
No, and I'm very submissive. And I actually say to people all the time that I control so many things in my life. When I get home or when I get to my guy, I don't want to control anything. I'm happy for him to say this.
Here's the thing. I think what she was talking about when she said hybrid is where you can be dominant in your career and then submissive at home. I think you are who you are. I think you are who you are. There's no two versions of you. Just say, I do a really good job at work and I do a really good job at home as a wife. That's it. That's all. I'm submissive when I need to be in both environments. And I'm a leader when I need to be in both environments. Golly. Hold on. Let's get to this other part. Let's talk about therapy. And they talk about therapy is a lifestyle. And should men go to therapy? I want to talk about it. See, Dr. Cheyenne, did y'all know her partner? And this is not a bad thing. Her partner is 9 years younger than her. I think he's 37, 38. That came out in a recent interview she was doing. Okay. She's been with him for years. The male interviewer or co-host kept pushing, okay, you know how to give everybody else relationship advice. How come you ain't married this one? That's all I'm saying. But Nene, I think this was a great interview because I think a lot of people are talking about her. I think this is timely. I think it's appropriate for the fact that her name is kind of all over the place right now. But let me get into the therapeutic aspect, and that will be our final highlight of Nene and the new beginning for her. And her son subsequent, Dr. Bryant highlights Nene. Hold on, she emphasizes that. Okay, here we go. I got it, y'all. I had to get the timestamp. Here we go.
Things I could drop off over there on you now. I'm just telling you. Okay, I got a lot of things I can drop off over there on you. But I've never sat in therapy, and I really want to know from you, do you think that grief, you should go into therapy?
100%.
You think divorce?
I think therapy should be a lifestyle.
Okay.
Because we need to make sure it's a preventative measure.
Okay.
Not we're going to it once we're trying to intervene with a problem and issue.
Okay.
Because if therapy was a lifestyle, let's just say with you, then processing your emotions would be something you automatically do.
Okay.
Distributing weight would be something that you start to know how to do. Identifying your pain pockets in these parts of your identity that are directly tied to your mom are all pockets that you would have already dwelled into.
Okay.
And it would have definitely changed. Of course, you've done well, but I'm not surprised because folks who come from such a adverse background tend to do well because remember, you're constantly saving yourself even now. So as
I kind of like the answer about therapy. I think it should be a lifeline and not a lifestyle. Not a lifestyle, because the important part of therapy is getting to a place where you don't need a therapist anymore. That's where I disagree. That small piece. We don't want the patient to become dependent on the therapist and weave that therapist into their everyday life. To me, that's not a good therapist. Your job is to help them to heal and get through the barriers that's stopping them from moving forward anyway in their day-to-day life. That's not meant to be a long-term relationship. So that's the only thing that I disagree with that. But other than that, I do think therapy is helpful for some people, not all. Not all. Let's continue.
As long as you save yourself, then there's a high percentage you ain't gonna drop you. But you do understand that all the other people out there, more than likely, they gonna drop me.
Yeah.
And so guess what? I'll be the backbone. I'll carry everybody's cross. Because ain't nobody gonna carry my cross again and leave me and my cross over there for dead.
No.
Like my parents did.
No. And you are right. A lot of people who've had these adverse upbringings
do well.
They do very well.
But what we do,
they do well in some aspects, but we've seen deficits also in Nene's life. We've seen deficits in P. Diddy's life. We've seen deficits in other people's life that do have adverse childhood, right? They call it ACE, adverse childhood. I can't remember what the E is for. There's areas that they do well in, but there's also deficits, holes, places that they are not complete that can impact their relationships and their friendships. So that's the part that I think there was an opportunity for Dr. Cheyenne to speak to that.
Don't do well with is overcompensating for our emotions versus identifying them, letting ourselves just not be okay, knowing that it is okay to share and distribute the weight, knowing that we can be a backbone, but we ain't got to carry everybody's cross.
No.
And it's not us. We shouldn't feel guilt or shame when we say, hey, hold on, open your hands. Let me give you a cross real quick. Let me give you a cross. But see, there's a layer of guilt and or shame that comes in us giving everybody their cross and saying like the disciples and Jesus, carry yours and follow me because we know what it felt like. Excuse my language, when motherfuckers didn't carry us.
That's true. And I definitely know what it feels like.
So we don't want to give you your cross and make you feel the heartbreak we felt when the person that was meant to carry us dropped.
And I get that, but I want to get to the point about where they're talking about men. Hold on.
And the guilt of saying, but I can't do nobody how I was done.
Right.
Because it was too excruciating for me. So I ain't gonna do you like that. So I'll carry crosses until my back breaks.
Now, I get that. Good point. And oftentimes you see that with women. Well, women hesitate to do you like you did me, but shit, sometimes you got to do them dirty like they did you. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Sometimes they got to meet you. Sometimes you look, welcome. I've been waiting. I'm glad you've arrived. The door of the church is open.
Our exchange, just out of our quick.
Well, what I would say, just from sitting here talking to you, which I kind of felt I wanted to do anyway. I know I need to go into therapy, and I need to have one-on-one session, with someone. Yeah. I've had therapy before, like I said, with my husband and stuff like that. So if it's
good for you, Nene.
Took nothing else from this, I know I need to go into therapy, and I do need to, work through the grief that and all the trauma that I've had as of recent, the last like 5 or 6 years. With my husband announcing he has cancer and watching him fade away, to my son being 60 these last few years, to my son having a heart transplant. We've been through a lot these last few years. Yeah. So
I agree. So let me ask you this. Good for you, Nene. I think you should do it sooner as opposed to later. What if this was just the caveat that was holding you up from going to the next level in your career, in your love life, with new things, new opportunities, and the start of a new beginning? What if the therapy was the last thing to complete a 360? That's all. And I want it. Normally I come in, I'm a little hard on Nene, but I kind of see this evolution of Nene. She's speaking different. She's choosing different guests. She's being more selective about where she's going. And I think it's the start of a new beginning. What do y'all think? That's all I got. I just wanted to go over that with you all and just kind of talk about it and just, give Nene her props a little bit. I wish her well, but get rid of that dead weight. That man has not rightfully earned his place in your life, in my opinion. That's a lot of mess. And when you think about traumatic experiences, that's just another load that you've added to your plate. You don't need that type of love. You don't need that type of confusion and complexities to add to your life. That's it. That's all. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will see y'all a little bit later. All right. Until next time. That's all we got. We've been on a little bit over an hour. Okay. Chanel says Nene has been through a lot, and I agree with her being more selective. I do too. Georgia says my late husband told me I was kept. I didn't agree until he passed away. My husband did everything in our household except for the cooking. The conscious from friends and family, I was covered. I think you meant something else. I'm not sure, but thank you, Irene. She says, great commentary. Thank you. No, thank you all for pulling up today. Something different. You know what I mean? Life is beautiful. So I don't know how she did it, but I would have been in bed. You said she's really trying. Yep. And let me just say this to those of you that are tuned in, y'all when men start to ask you questions, do you like being kept or do you this? Are you okay with 50-50? Grab your damn purse and leave.
Why are you running?
Because I want to be kept. That's it. That's all.
I don't want to talk about it. You just said I'm gonna talk about it. Kill it. I get angry. I don't want to.